Today I'm reviewing the Yamaha R-N800A Network Receiver with Phono input and built-in DAC in silver. If you want to check current pricing or availability, that is linked below. I've been living with this unit as the central hub of a small 2-channel music and TV audio setup for several weeks. I used it with bookshelf speakers, streaming sources, vinyl playback, and daily listening routines. These impressions are based on how it behaves in real use, not just specs. Let's set expectations early. This is a network receiver built to be a flexible stereo hub. It's not a tiny Bluetooth speaker, and it's not a dedicated high-end separate stack. It sits in that space where simplicity and broad compatibility matter more than extreme power or boutique tuning. Starting with core functionality, the R-N800A feels versatile out of the box. It has a built-in DAC, a phono stage for turntables, and network streaming support. That makes it easy to connect sources like vinyl, streaming services over Wi-Fi, phones via Bluetooth, and wired digital sources without needing extra boxes. Streaming performance has been smooth in everyday use. Connecting over the network to music services and local libraries worked reliably, and the control app made switching playlists and inputs straightforward. Bluetooth is also there for quick phone playback when I wanted something simple. In terms of sound quality, this receiver feels balanced and natural. With a good pair of bookshelf speakers, vocals and acoustic instruments come through without overemphasis or fatigue. The mid-range feels composed and detailed in a way that suits long listening sessions. Treble remains controlled rather than bright, which helps avoid listening fatigue over hours of music. Bass response depends on your speakers, but through my setup the low end felt clean and accurate rather than overly boosted. Rhythm sections had punch where needed, and dynamics didn't feel artificially compressed. The built-in DAC performs solidly. It isn't a separate flagship converter, but it brings clarity and resolution that keeps everyday music sounding open and engaging. The phono input is a meaningful add-on. I connected a turntable and found it easy to switch modes without extra adapters or preamps. Vinyl playback felt rich and textured in a way that made integration into my setup feel seamless. Temperature and fan noise aren't concerns with this unit. It runs quietly under normal use, and you don't get audible fan noise competing with your music, which feels appropriate for a receiver in this class. Build quality is solid. The silver finish feels refined and fits well with living room components. The front panel controls and display are easy to read, and navigating inputs and settings didn't feel cumbersome. Now for some trade-offs. This isn't a high-current power amp designed to drive very inefficient speakers at very high volumes. If you pair it with speakers that demand a lot of current or you push it into room-shaking levels, you'll notice its limits. It's capable for typical listening levels and moderate room sizes, but it isn't a powerhouse. Compared to separates, the integrated design means you sacrifice some configurability. You get many features in one box, but you won't swap out the internal DAC or phono stage like you could with discrete components. So who does this make sense for? If you want a central stereo receiver that handles network streaming, vinyl playback, digital sources, and phone connectivity without needing multiple separate devices, this fits that role very well. It suits living rooms, dens, and music spaces where simplicity and sound quality matter together. If your priority is extreme power for very large rooms, or you want to build a separate system with premium individual components, this integrated approach may feel limiting. After real use, I'd describe the Yamaha R-N800A as balanced, flexible, and thoughtfully designed, a network receiver that does a lot without exaggerated claims. Check current pricing below and evaluate it against your needs.